Hey everybody, this is Lynn from A Bit of Birdsong. I wanted to show you a quick craft idea that I had a lot of fun with today. One of the things that I love about my job is being able to make things for displays and to help sell items that we get in the reuse center. And this was just a lot of fun. It used up some scraps, and I think it will be a pretty display for some mixed media materials. All I did was take pieces of lace and cotton, some metal charms, there's paper involved, and I used a sewing machine, but you could definitely use glue if you wanted to. This one, of course, as you can see, is a nature theme. This is just an image from a calendar. All I did was tear it out. You could distress around the edges if you want to. I didn't do that on this edge. You can see where it's been torn. The metal embellishment, I did use the sewing machine, and the way that you can do this is to very carefully, you put it on a zigzag stitch and make the length 0 so that the fabric is not going to be pulled. You want the needle to sit right where it is, and then just kind of play with the width of the stitch until you get the needle to go easily on either side. You don't want to break a needle. And once you have it figured out, you can just stitch, maybe 10 times and then cut the strings, and it stays in place pretty nicely. I put another stitch here to hold that into place. And I just went outside and got a little stick to go in the loops here. I wanted each one of these to be able to hang up for the display. As I was making these, I thought this would be so nice to hang up in a lot of different situations. If you work in an office and you have a cubicle and you can take in little messages, maybe if you have someone who's in a nursing home or has a place where you can hang pretty things that they can see. You could put it, kids can do this as a craft with supervision and hang things like this in their rooms. Sewing rooms, so many places to hang up art like this. I really like this one. I keep thinking, how am I going to hang this up so it doesn't get pulled down all day? But I will probably take some like curved staples instead of regular push pins to make sure that it's adhered to the board that I'm going to be putting it on. And I love denim. I love to work with denim. The pockets are great to use in different crafts. I just took this sample card from this was a paper sample or a textile sample booklet. We get so many things like this, and a lot of times these things are advertising different types of paper you can print on. And a lot of times the images are a lot of fun. They're just unusual things that you wouldn't see anywhere else. Blank on the back, I stamped Make Art and put a ribbon here that matches this ribbon. We just have some fabric. I did some stamping, some lace trim, and I sewed a little charm here with just a needle and thread. This is something that's interactive. You could make pretty pockets like this for so many things. A shopping list. You could put magnets on it and hang it on the refrigerator. You could make a journal out of things like this. Just, page after page of layered mixed media, fabrics and stamping, paper, lace, just whatever you want to use. I love this one. So this is the third one. Let me move these other ones out of the way so you can see this. This one's going to hang up by a piece of lace that's being used like a ribbon. The little ends there hang down, which is really pretty. When it's hanging, it doesn't interfere with the face there. I used a couple of bulb pins to attach this heavy cord, just kind of like a jute or a twine cord there. I used the old bobbin covers, the paper that's like the advertising on the vintage plastic bobbins. And there's a message here that says, you can only perceive the beauty that lives outside you when you feel the beauty that lives inside you. So again, you can use things like this to display messages. It's a very creative and pretty way to get ideas across that you want people to read. Maybe something you want to share and you don't want to have to say it. You just want people to see it. I love this one too. This one is just, I love the way it turned out. So I put just a piece of wire through here as a ring. That'll hang easily on a push pin or something like that. And again, we have cotton and lace. I had some really, really thin copper wire. I don't even remember what this came off of. Where did that come from? And I didn't want to just throw it out. But I just made it in the shape of a bird's nest and sewed over that with a straight stitch, kind of a long straight stitch. Again, I used that method with the zigzag and very carefully sewed these 3 metal bits into place. There's layering with lace, and that's part of an old table scarf. This is paper. I took this from one of the digital journal cards that I created. This little piece of fabric came from a bag. I believe it came from a wine store, and it says "Be Good and Recycle," which is perfect for a reuse arts center or any place where you want to advertise to people to please recycle. I love this one as well. It just has the word sew. We have some fabric here, and Jay, once again, you might have sent me this piece of fabric. Of course, there's a sewing machine on the fabric with this really beautiful old image, so it just made sense to use my big letter stamps that I have. I love these, use them all the time, and there is a charm there. It looks like a coffee pot or a teapot, which seem to fit in nicely color-wise and with the theme. You know, it just feels like keeping house or running a house, and I just thought it was pretty. And then there's a little button that I sewed on there. So all of these things are ready to hang for the craft idea that I'm working on at the Reuse Center. And I just loved making these. Again, I feel like you could easily do this with scraps and incorporate it into journals or just make a journal. I kept thinking, how could I just, maybe if these were attached to fabric pages, you would end up with something that you could just flip the pages and have this beautiful display of all different ideas and things. So again, this is just a quick little way to use scraps. I know so many people have done things like this. This is nothing new. I just think it's so fun to be inspired. We all love to be inspired. I do as well. So I did want to just share this little idea, and I really appreciate everyone watching. Thank you to new subscribers, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.